we now have the left, which is really not even the left anymore. It's a bunch of sheeple being used like puppets and pawns in chess to create social unrest in America, to resist their own freedom, to resist their own prosperity, and then to claim they're fighting fascism. So in Portland, Oregon, you had a bunch of Antifa radical leftists start a riot at a Patriot rally. Here's Alex Jones breaking it down.
Last night in Portland, Oregon, hundreds of Christians of every race, color, and creed who bleed red blood and love Jesus Christ met in Portland, Oregon to call for cultural but also spiritual unity. They were viciously attacked with eggs, clubs, knives. It's all in the local news by the scumbag, Soros-funded globalist Antifa. And I went and looked at all the different local newscasts. They admitted that they attacked the prayer vigil, and then the police called it a riot and did start firing pepper spray and other things at Antifa, but still in the media spun it like it was a riot and both sides were fighting. You see the headlines, riot in Portland. And then it says in article after article, video after video, report after report, we've got them up on Infowars.com, that there was a riot in Portland between Antifa and conservatives. No, brave Americans went to Portland, the belly of the beast, the lion's den, the fiery furnace, to just exercise their free speech in the face of the anti-American, anti-Constitution, anti-Bill of Rights, anti-expression left that have taken over the campuses, taken over Hollywood, taken over the media, and are engaged in their reign of terror. So Owen Schroyer is going to be breaking this down, a lot of other issues today, but the videos are in a Zero Hedge article on Infowars.com. And I spent, I don't know, a good hour today researching it, looking at it, going over it. Antifa terrorists attack peaceful conservative demonstration. Local news calls it a riot. That's the headline I put on the Zero Hedge article. If you go to the actual Zero Hedge article, it does a great job breaking it down. It says, riot breaks out in Portland as Antifa activists clash with conservative marchers. Let me explain something. If you're an old lady and you get mugged, you weren't in a fight with the mugger. Makes sense, right? So they continue to attack people, just like Charlottesville, they attacked the alt-right folks and the reporters that were there. Doesn't mean I agree with the alt-right. Doesn't matter. They started it. And then I said, George Soros is financing Antifa on record. They come out and attack people. The police stand down, funnel the alt-right people into a confrontation. Soros is partly to blame for the violence. They then sue me, saying that I said some guy killed a woman when I never even said that. But that's the type of games the globalists play. They claim that some photographer was out there that's a Democrat that I said he killed the woman. I never said that. And of course, it'll all get thrown out, but it doesn't matter. This is all part of this crazy deception where they pretend like Michael Moore isn't on Bill Maher calling for violent overthrow of Trump and 1 million people around the Congress to stop a Supreme Court nominee, and hashtag hunt Republican, and all these Hollywood stars calling for burning down ICE centers and kidnapping Barron Trump and pedophiles raping him. They continue to act like we're totally unconscious. But the truth is the country's coming back and people are waking up and a lot of exciting things are happening. And it's because America won't be bullied anymore and America is awake. And that's the big epic truth. So a lot's happening, but America has been sold out to globalist operations. Trump is in there desperately trying to right the ship. If Trump wasn't in there, the globalists were planning large wars, a global depression, all sorts of horrible stuff. But patriots in our government, in corporations, in private life said, no, this is a nightmare post-industrial world, an austere world, a new dark age with city-states ruling over giant slave plantations. This isn't a plan we want to be part of. Well, I've been challenging that plan for decades since I learned of it. And the globalists were arrogant and thought they would deny the plan and say it didn't exist so no one would form opposition to it. But we ignored the propaganda. We ignored the demonization. We ignored the denials because we read their own white papers. And we formed the resistance against it, and now that resistance is exploding all over the planet, and the unelected tyranny of globalism is in trouble. But it doesn't mean they're out yet. So, I want to commend all of you that stood up to peer pressure. I want to commend all of you that have taken action. I want to commend all of you that have supported the info war. And I want to ask you to go to the next level now of getting the word out and exposing what's happening, of this epic battle for sovereignty and capitalism and freedom and Christianity and the West and the Renaissance that we're fighting in Europe, that we're fighting in the U.S., we're fighting in Australia, but even in Brazil and other areas and Africa, people are waking up to this, and it's exciting. These globalists thought they'd sell a worldwide tyranny by stealth, that we were so dumb we never organized against it. But their denials of the program they were building only damned them more once it was all admitted to be true. Our credibility's never been higher. Your credibility's never been higher. So understand that they're going to turn the heat up and try to throw Trump out of office. They're going to have riots by the end of the summer all over the country. That's their admitted plan. They're going to try impeachment. They're going to try to steal the election in the midterm, but it doesn't matter because they're losers. And as long as we're awake and conscious and involved, there isn't anything they can do to stop the destiny of humanity as long as we take that destiny in our hand. Back to the live Sunday show. Owen Schroyer, video clips of Antifa attacking and more. Remember, if you're watching or listening to this transmission, you are the resistance, you are the hope, you are the future. Newswars.com and Infowars.com are next year's news today. Back to Owen Schroyer.
So, what I said in the first segment of today's show is important to get out there. And we've got the video clips to prove it. This is not just me flapping my gums. This is a standard tactic by socialists. Just look at the Nazi brown shirts. We're going to play the clip. I think this video is from almost 2 years ago. Project Veritas goes undercover. I believe it was Laura Loomer, and gets Aaron Black to admit that he is responsible for starting the riot at the Chicago Trump rally that got violent. A DNC paid operative to agitate and start riots. Ladies and gentlemen, they are about to go fully operational. They're going to plant operatives inside conservative movements and conservative rallies, and they're then going to use their masked operatives called Antifa to get into a fight with their operatives inside the conservative movement that they're then going to use to start riots. And that is the game plan. That is what they're doing next. Now, so I say, watch your six when you're out at these groups now for someone trying to agitate from inside. And also, maybe it's time somebody got inside of these Antifa groups. Maybe it's somebody went inside Antifa undercover. Maybe it's time somebody got some undercover video of Antifa planning to start violence. Of course, we don't need the undercover video. You've got all the Democrats calling for violence. And then Maxine Waters has the nerve to sit here and act all high and mighty like, oh, look at me receiving death threats. Woman, you are the one trying to start violence. So we're going to have all these clips today, and we're going to break this all down. And then we're going to be joined by Will Johnson at 5:30, who was at the Portland riot, and he's going to break all this down. But folks, we need your support at InfoWarsStore.com because we need to expand. We need to hire more people. We can't even, there's protests happening every day, and we want to be at them. We want to have the footage, but we need your support at InfoWarsStore.com. It's the Second American Revolution 4th of July super sale.
Electrify your day with Secret 12. It's like lightning in a bottle. We all have days in which we just can't seem to perform at the level we'd like to. InfoWars Live Secret 12 is designed to naturally energize your body and mind with 2 great tasting and super high quality forms of vitamin B12. Proper vitamin and nutrient intake is essential to keep your body functioning at optimum levels. The reality is, it's hard to take in the proper amount of vitamins we need each day with our modern diets. Secret 12 by InfoWars Live is an easy way to naturally upgrade your vitamin B12 intake and support your body's natural systems. It pairs 2 forms of vitamin B12 into one explosive formula. Vitamin B12 supports healthy energy levels through red blood cell formation and aiding in the body's natural processes, but it also assists with many other functions of the body. Electrify your mind and body and take your health to the next level. Experience the power of Secret 12 at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.